Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/best of for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Choice Evidence 1983, and their tagline is, "It dawned on me that he was a wizard." The original OP is log rolling in ON, posted to r/true off my chest, February 8th, 2026. I think my sister just ruined our dad's engagement to an amazing woman, and I hate her so much. I'm really angry right now at my stupid entitled brat of a sister. I want to use a different B word, but I don't think I can post with it. Just know it is the one I mean. I wish I could type out just how much I hate her right now. So, maybe this will help. There's so much I want to yell at her or just get off my chest, but we're at our grandparents' place and I can't lash out at her like she deserves, and she knows it too. I don't know how much of it is relevant, but here goes, hoping I'm less angry when I'm done. My family is me and my twin Sebastian, 16 male, and he's writing this with me. Our sister Lisa, 17 female, our dad Sean, 41 male, and our future stepmom Amy, 36 female. Fake names, obviously. Our mom died 9 years ago. Dad didn't date for 5 years, then briefly dated a disaster called Riley, then took another break from dating. He met Amy around 3 years ago, introduced us 2 years ago. We all moved together to a big house a year ago, and they got engaged 6 months ago. Before Riley was even in the picture, we weren't thrilled Dad had started dating again, but we went to therapy as a family to work through it. We made peace with it for the most part, but then Riley came, and she was just the worst. She was rude, jealous of our mom's money, a gold digger, didn't like us. She was all around horrible. The three of us kind of made an agreement that we would not allow anyone to erase our mom. We would never allow anyone to adopt us. And we would be polite but keep our distance from whoever Dad dated. It felt like we were honoring Mom that way without stopping our dad from moving on. We also started calling the three of us plus Dad the Core Four. Getting to know Amy though, and then moving in together, we've done a 180 on that, me and Seb more than Lisa. Amy is just good people. She's crazy smart and nerdy, has like 3 degrees, 1 in psychology, which explains a lot, and we all play D&D together. She's successful, artistic, athletic, and deadpan hilarious. She has an energy, like when we're all around family and they're all loud and crazy, she talks and people just shut up and listen. Don't know how best to describe that. Like, she's wise and kind and patient, but also an absolute Sigma badass bitch. She's cool to hang out with and she loves our dad. She also sets him straight a lot. We kind of default to her as our neutral third party when there's a disagreement, and she's very good at navigating that. She's just really cool. She is also genuinely interested in our lives and hobbies. She has at least one thing with each of us. Seb and her do artsy stuff, and they both play tennis. She plays video games with me. She and Lisa read a lot and go book shopping like every few months. The house is filled with books. She's teaching Lisa how to drive. They're both K-pop fans, etc. I honestly think they clicked more quickly and naturally, and vibed the best. Whenever Lisa allows it. Amy also never stops us talking about our mom. She respectfully encourages it. There's a few pictures of Mom around the house still, and she's totally okay with that. Like, she's not threatened by Mom's presence at all. She once helped Seb make a painting of a photo of the 5 of us. Dad, Mom, Lisa, and Seb for our maternal granddad's birthday. Even my mom's family likes her. My aunt, my mom's sister, and her have become good friends. She asks them and Dad about Mom when we mention something we all used to do. And we found out a few months ago that she also lost her dad when she was 12. I think that settled a lot of things for Lisa, who I know sometimes uses our mom to try to spite Amy. Though, again, Amy would either kill her with kindness or just move on. Dad loves Amy, and she makes him happy. Like, she is his balance in a way. They go so well together. Our dad is awesome, patient, smart, strict, but kind. Goofy sometimes. He has his own hang-ups, but He's slow to anger and always open to discuss anything with us. He doesn't yell at us much, but he's supportive and overall has been a great dad. She and Dad made it very clear she has absolutely no intention of replacing Mom, that she's a person of authority in the household without being a parent, that she's open to whatever relationship we want to have with her, and it's a two-way street. She has never demanded or pushed for anything other than basic human-to-human respect and kindness. Why Lisa sucks. While we are really doing well and getting along great, Lisa sometimes gets whiplash and randomly regresses to Riley time, especially after Amy and her spend time together having fun. It's like she's trying to rile Amy up to justify why she thinks dad dating is a bad idea. She snaps at random stuff just to bump heads. Only it's not working very well because Amy is just not bumping. She isn't engaging Lisa when she's like this. She'll maybe set a boundary like, I will not engage with you when you act like this, and after that is completely uninterested in Lisa's outbursts and lets our dad handle it. It doesn't feel like it's out of spite though. Best I can describe it is Amy is living her life, legit happily and willingly making offers and openings to all of us, Lisa included, without making a big deal out of it. When Lisa doesn't participate and or says something snarky or downright rude, Amy just shrugs and goes on with her life. If we ask her if she's upset or angry at Lisa for lashing out, she says she understands how Lisa must be feeling, that everyone is allowed a tantrum every once in a while, and that she knows Lisa is a good girl, and she'll come around on her own. And true enough, when Lisa then calms down and apologizes, with or without Dad's mediation, again, Amy doesn't make a big deal out of it, and they pick up where they left off. For example, we were having dinner and Lisa was arguing with her and Dad, and said she didn't want what Amy cooked because it smelled disgusting, and started insulting Amy's country where the dish was from, even though she usually loves it. Amy just said, suit yourself, like she could not care less, served the rest of us, and sat down and started eating and talking to Seb and I. Dad took Lisa to talk, and after they came back, he asked Amy if it would be okay for Lisa to still sit and eat with us. Amy said sure, and continued chatting. Lisa apologized for her comments without Dad prompting her, and Amy just smiled, said thank you, and kept talking to Seb like nothing happened. When the conversation naturally drifted to something related to Lisa, Amy just spoke to her, normally. The issue is, the very few times Amy does respond in kind, when she's tired or has had enough, nothing we say gets to her. Like, she stops caring. Like, she gets suddenly quiet and throws something back at you, and you just never expect it, because overwhelmingly, she's the calm and mature one when there's an issue. Seb calls this the Saba, the sneak attack by Amy. If I could pick one flaw of Amy, that would be it. She's just brutal sometimes when she's had enough, or something bad happens at work and it just comes out of left field. She destroys you and doesn't even blink. It is immensely enjoyable to witness when she goes Saba on our behalf, but not so much when we trigger it. To clarify, Amy is like ridiculously patient 99% of the time, and incredibly effective in managing conflict. She also can recognize when she's close to that line, so she either steps away or warns us, and we usually understand and back off, and then she follows up on her own, and she always says thank you for waiting to talk. If she goes too low when sabaing, she always apologizes and makes amends. We are quite good at communicating as a family for the most part, thanks to her mostly, but once in a while, when we push and Amy goes there, it's not good. Sometimes it's just snark, like once I told her, fuck you, mid-fight. Amy just shrugged and said, your father does that enough, I'll let him know he has your blessing. Seb was yelling about a missed practice, his fault. She yawned mid-sentence and got up. He was like, what the fuck, where are you going? And she was like, I'm not interested in a baby throwing a tantrum. It is worse with Lisa, because Lisa goes personally when she's angry. But when the Saba line is crossed, Amy just doesn't care. Lisa once asked, "How does it feel to know you wouldn't be here if our mom was still alive?" Amy thought about it and said, "I would probably be living my best life in the Bahamas with a rich European prince and no brats to bust my balls, so much better." Another time, Amy was having a pregnancy scare, and Lisa said something like, "You will never have children of your own." And Amy just said, "I hope not. I like my tight, and so does your dad." It always shocks us when she goes full Saba because she's usually kind, considerate, and patient. The core four have discussed all of this in therapy, and Lisa acknowledges she's just scared and angry at the idea of Amy replacing Mom. Though we all point out just how uninterested Amy is in that role. I personally don't feel like she would ever replace Mom, and we joke sometimes about calling each other mother/son. When Lisa acts out, there are always consequences from Dad. Things are discussed in therapy, and for a while, everything is calm again. The therapist suggested we add Amy to our sessions once in a while, but Lisa is not open to that yet. Dad is also bringing up more often whether Lisa should get individual therapy, but she doesn't want to. Legit, Lisa and Amy get along so well when Lisa isn't behaving like this. What happened yesterday? Yesterday, the three of us, Seb, I, and Lisa, spent time with our grandparents and cousins, helped them with the snow, then grabbed dinner, and came home late. Dad and Amy were talking about wedding stuff in the kitchen, and we overheard Dad discussing adoption, very loosely, like if Amy would ever be up for it, if we wanted to at some point as adults. Lisa immediately lost it, burst in and started screaming at him about Mom, that she hates him, that he's only thinking with his dick, then turned to Amy, started insulting her, wished her dead, and said, "I will never want a C-word like you to be my mom." Amy just very calmly said, "What makes you think I would ever choose you to be my daughter?" That one hurt Lisa. Like, we could see the physical recoil. Dad took her up to her room, and they talked for a long time. There were raised voices, then Lisa was crying, but couldn't tell what was being said. Amy stayed down, talking to us, clarifying the adoption conversation was entirely hypothetical. We asked her more questions. She was responding slowly and quietly. She didn't answer us when we asked about wedding prep or how she was feeling. She was shaking and trying to keep it together. I've never seen her like this. We were quiet for a bit, then Seb told her what she said was a very low blow, and she smiled sadly and just said, "Maybe so." When Dad came down, Amy got up in slow motion, put on her coat, gathered some stuff, and was out the door in like 2 minutes. Dad was almost crying, trying to get her to stay and talk. It was late, snowing, and she was whispering, "Not tonight. I have to leave. Be there for your sons. I'm sorry." Over and over, and she started crying, and she got in her car and left. We sat down with Dad. He was a mess. He let us know Lisa will be getting individual therapy on top of family therapy, and it was non-negotiable. He asked us if we felt we needed individual therapy as well. Seb said no. I said I'm not sure right now, and we tried to talk a bit about what happened. He asked how we're feeling, but he was a wreck, and then he started tearing up. So we just hugged him, and he cried so hard. He cried so much. I've not seen my dad cry so hard since Mom died. He kept telling us it's okay, and he didn't want us to worry, but he was just crying, and I had no words. I just kept saying I'm sorry, and Seb was telling him it'll be okay, and Amy will be back and we'll work it out. And he kept saying, "No, she won't. Not this time she won't." He then started saying he was sorry and asked us if we knew he loved us. And then he asked if he had neglected us, if we felt he didn't love us enough after Amy moved in, if he was a good dad. I wanted to punch Lisa so hard in that moment for making him doubt that even for a second. As if moving on from our mom after almost a decade and landing someone he is genuinely happy with and who is a good person is a sin. Amy wasn't in the house today. Dad has red eyes and he looks like he's aged 10 years. He said good morning. I asked if Amy came home last night. He said no, but not to worry, and she is safe. He spoke very quietly, made us breakfast. When Lisa came down, he just gave her a look and turned around. Didn't speak to her. She started crying, saying she's sorry, and went to hug him. He stepped back and told her, "I don't want to hug you right now." And his voice was just shattered. She just lost it and kept crying and apologizing, kept saying she really likes Amy and she wants them to get married and for him to be happy. She said she loves him and kept asking if he still loves her, and Dad said, "I will always love you as my daughter, but I don't love you as Lisa right now." I think that's the harshest thing he has ever said to any of us. I didn't think he had it in him. I'm glad he said it. I'm happy Lisa kept crying. She deserves it. We're back with our grandparents. Dad said he's trying to get Amy to come to the house and talk in person. We haven't told our grandparents all the details, nor do they know all the vile shit that Lisa says to Amy, because I know they will be so disappointed in her. I hate her right now. She's pretending to read in the corner, but she flips a page every 10 minutes. God, I want to yell at her so bad. Tear her a new one and let her have it. I'm practically vibrating. If she ruins this for Dad, for all of us, fuck. I hate her so much right now. That's it. I don't feel bad. Fuck her. Relevant/top comments. Commenter 1. Oh man, OP, that's awful. I'm so sorry. I hope it can be fixed. Have you and Sebastian reached out to Amy? Please update if there is one. I'm rooting for you. OP responds, "We're left undelivered. Sad face. It snowed a lot on Friday, and I honestly don't think she has anywhere to go. Dad said she's safe, and they're in contact, but I'm worried." No, I'm so beyond worried. I'm scared she won't want anything to do with him or us anymore. Another person said here, me and Seb are holding this together. Not true. Amy has been holding this fucked up family together for so long, and now she's gone, and none of us know how to feel or act. And I know we're not a fucked up family, but it feels like we, collectively, just finally broke her. She's the best thing that could have happened to Dad, to all of us, and Lisa just fucked it up. I've spent so many years without a mom figure around, just us and Dad. And I want Amy. I want her as a stepmom. Fuck, I want her as a mom. I'm okay with having two moms. I don't feel guilty saying this. Maybe it's because I'm more angry than sad, but I don't care. OP responds to a long comment regarding relationships with her dad, Amy, and each other. OP. This is what gets me because Lisa and Amy get along so much better than me and Seb do, until these bursts. They are few and far between. They still happen, but the default is them just huddle up in a corner, reading the same book and talking a lot. Going out a lot, just hanging out a lot, with Aunt as well. Lisa makes a lot of these plans. We talked about us moving together in therapy for months, and Lisa was the first one in favor exactly because she said she wants another girl in the house. Seb and I delayed the green light because it was kind of a men's den before Amy. And Lisa loves Amy. She says it randomly on her own. She admits it in therapy. Is she lying? And replacing mom? It's crazy if she feels this way. We talked about this as a family last year, and Amy was incredibly against replacing mom in any way. Her dad died when she was a child, and she was like, if anyone randomly told me I would now have a new dad, I would have laughed at their face. She's so laid back on her approach to us. It's up to us. She says she's next to Dad, but not in Mom's place. Lisa's class did an unofficial dance last year, and she was sad she wouldn't go shopping with Mom, and saying how Mom wouldn't be there to see her all dressed up, etc. And she said all that to Amy, and Amy comforted her, told her she would wear one of Mom's necklaces. And 3 days later, Amy showed her a picture of our mom at a party with her dad when they were young, and she had found a link to a dress similar to what our mom was wearing, and asked Lisa if she wanted to wear that to the dance so she could have a little bit of your mom's energy with her. And they went and got it, and Lisa was ecstatic and broke down and hugged Amy so hard. We had to leave them for a bit, but for real, Lisa was so incredibly happy and grateful. She told us all that on her own. I don't know. I feel like defending us all of a sudden, but we've always been close, the three of us, and unless she's lying to everyone all the time, I have no idea where these fears come from. OP answers a question about their mom and what she was like before her passing. Did Lisa have a great relationship with their mom? OP responds, she and mom were okay, I guess. I don't remember them having a bad relationship. She was pushing us a lot on extracurriculars, and she was angrier than Dad for sure, though. She was a disciplinarian. Dad was more laid back and just played with us. Though, us more than Lisa, if I'm honest. Amy is spending equal time with me and Seb, and a lot more time with Lisa, though. And Dad and Lisa also do their own thing every once in a while. So do I, and so does Seb. We do it separately. Lisa has a lot of female support. We live very close to both sets of grandparents, and she has mom's sister, Dakota, who Amy is also very close to. And also, Dad's sister. Our families have grown very close to each other. We all live close by as well. The support network is strong. Thank you. We need some luck. Commenter 2. I'm so sorry for everyone involved. I'm going to word vomit because I'm eating a sandwich. I assume that's an acronym for How I Met Your Mother. Sorry in advance. Part of me thinks it would benefit if Lisa wrote a letter apologizing. Part of me thinks the only way Amy will come back is if Lisa moves out. I wish someone would have tackled and taken Lisa out of the room. Just kidding, lol. I see the toll it takes on the step-parent because my partner is a step-parent to my son. He tries to put on a brave face as an adult talking to a kid, but it's hard. For context, I have a very amicable split with my son's dad, and everyone can co-parent. It's hard when the world looks at you like you're lesser because you're taking care of some other man or woman's kid, especially if you don't have bio kids of your own. Not having bio kids with your partner hurts, surprisingly. I have a medical condition. If she has no bio kids of her own, that line Lisa said is as low of a blow as her comment back. It's a big sacrifice and compromise either way. It's probably a conversation that's been had a lot. There is a fear. Is this the next level of disrespect from a kid I can't control that will end things? My son is extremely well behaved, which is a miracle because his dad and I were not. My son calls my partner Dad. He tells him he loves him times infinity, but the fear of them leaving this baggage still lingers because you know it's already amazing of them to take on a responsibility they technically and biologically have no obligation to. I feel for your dad and I feel for Amy. I hope it all works out because what I see is a lot of love and hurt that time can heal with effort and sincerity. OP responds, so, funny story. We asked her once if she ever thought of having kids of her own with Dad or anyone else. And she said she didn't want to give birth to kids. There's a fear about that, I don't remember the name. But would be open to adopting if the right man came along. And she said it was because she wasn't interested in passing on her genes, but her morals and ethics and ideas and behaviors and love. And she didn't need to have biological kids to do that. It kind of made me respect her a lot more. Commenter 3. Sometimes you just decide enough is enough. Lisa might just have pushed Amy too far. Your sister needed therapy long before this, all by herself, and don't blame this on Riley. She's long gone. This is all on Lisa. If you're serious about getting Amy back, then you need to make it a group effort with all of you and your dad, and Lisa should be leading it with an apology and a genuine effort to do better. Commenter 4. To you, Amy is rolling with the punches, but in reality, while she's rolling with the punches, she feels every single one of them, and what your sister said broke the camel's back, so to speak. This will take time for Amy and your family. I hope you guys come through better than ever, but I also hope Lisa realizes that even though she's a child, that doesn't mean she gets to use Amy as a punching bag. Update, February 12th, 2026, 4 days later. I didn't expect to get as many responses with my previous post, nor did I expect that I would be back here, but it actually really helped. I don't have too big of an update yet, but a few things are happening. Not all of them are positive, but I guess at least there is a sort of plan. This is a little rushed. I'm sorry if this isn't formatted well. It was brutal reading so many comments speaking so badly about Lisa. Like, I know I said I hated her, and I did in the moment, still do for a lot of this, but she's my sister, and I do love her as well. So I think seeing so many people angry at her made me very angry and defending her. Seb as well, but I'm writing this alone, so... A few people were telling us to give her some grace, and I really tried, but I was not in any place to even look at her. Seb did try to talk to her though. I was present, but I didn't want to engage. I was mostly there for him. It went like, we're very angry at you, but you're still our sister, and we love you and Dad too, etc. But you have to stop thinking you can do or say whatever, and we'll still like you just the same, and we'll always be around. She was saying that family is forever and sticks by everything together no matter what happens. They don't just up and leave. And then, he told her that that's not true. It's actually kind of crazy stupid to think your family will put up with you no matter what you do. She was like, you're supposed to stick together against the shit that comes our way, and he got angry at that and told her she is the one bringing the shit in the way. And no matter the family relationship, we won't stick together with an intentional shit stir, so unless there's something else going on, right now, she is the one in the wrong, so either fess up or fix yourself. I brought up an aunt we have, Dad's first cousin, who is not part of the family anymore because she was a major gossip and she lied all the time, and nobody likes her. Nobody invites her around. Her siblings don't talk to her, don't have her over, because sure, they are family, but she is always bringing shit and drama in our lives, so she was pushed aside. And we were like, don't be the person we have to push aside. But if there's something going on with Amy that we don't know, you have to tell us. She was saying there isn't anything that would make sense right now. We kinda discussed Saba in the Core 4, and truly we didn't really see some of y'all's point on Amy being offensive or a creep, because a lot of people called us out, me and Seb, on also being horrible to her as well, feeling the fire, and, well, that was a slap, and we kind of shut up about it because it was like, sure, being told your dad fucks me is fucked up, but you all were like, we should have never said fuck you to her in the first place, and then we, me, Seb, and Lisa, realized we've each said it at least twice, so she's heard it 6 times at least, and she kept talking to us about it, and we kept using it until that reply of hers. And, well, it worked because we haven't said it again, so, yeah. Sad that we sort of have that knowledge/image in our heads now, but also sad that it had to come to internet strangers for us to realize it worked. It was really humbling for me and Seb to realize, sure, this time Lisa was the one that crossed the line, and usually it is her that destroys the boundaries, but the two of us haven't exactly been great at her either. I admit I cried a lot reading some of the comments, like hard crying because you were very real in how shitty I've been to Amy. Not just Lisa, like I didn't realize it. I think it was just how we sometimes fight with Dad and cousins, and it hadn't registered how it must have been for Amy, who was always in mediator/peacekeeping position. We went to family therapy on Tuesday and found out a few things about Dad and Amy. They had actually known each other for a few months before they started dating, so they met close to 4 years ago via common friends. Dad's situation with Riley was discussed at some point, and he liked Amy's perspective and approach, so they started hanging out. And then, like 6 months after that, started dating. They've been going to therapy together right before she was introduced to us, every Thursday with her, every Tuesday with us. It was Amy's suggestion to help her navigate meeting us. We then talked about what the next steps are. But first, what happened was Dad told Lisa again that he does love her, and he wants to understand and help, but he won't always like her, and she has to understand this, and us too. That he will always love us because he is our dad, not out of obligation, but because that is where the source of his love stems from. But sometimes, as human to human, he doesn't always like us for how we're behaving. He was sad he had said that to her, but if I'm honest, I think he deserved to say it, and she deserved to hear it. We told him we love him too, and Amy as well. And we're sorry, and me and Seb admitted that we've been pretty bad towards Amy. We kind of worked on this. Lisa said she wasn't ready to talk about what happened, and she wanted to talk to her own therapist first, and her first is tomorrow, which really pissed me off. We've been in therapy as a family for years now, but she will talk after she gets her own therapist? Like, what the fuck have we been doing here all this time? Anyway, we talked more about Amy and Dad's relationship and me and Seb's relationship, and we concluded that we're kicking back hard still, because with Riley, she was so horrible, we didn't feel it would make a difference if we were arguing with her because she was just bad, and we would fight all the time, and there was no point because she would just scream back and it led nowhere. With Amy, it was kind of working backwards, and we feel safer being worse with her because she actually cares situation. Like she's acting more like a mother figure than her. She talks it out with us, and even when she pushes the issue to Dad, we still have some kind of normal parent/kid arguing before it gets to that point, which is why Saba's were just so unexpected and just shut everything down because Riley would say stuff like that all the time, and we didn't realize just how triggering some of the stuff we were saying to Amy was, because Riley was always saying that stuff. So I'm not exactly sure what that meant yet, still processing it, but we apologized to Dad for also being problematic, not just Lisa. Lisa is just more explosive, and she did apologize as well. We talked about the next steps right now, which is a bit complicated. Dad and Amy are both on the lease for the house, but not only is she paying more than him, like 60-40, but our landlords are close to Amy, so if it came to it, which Dad assured us they are not broken up yet, we would be the ones that had to move. I know my dad isn't poor, he's a senior SWE in big tech, editor's note, software engineer, but Amy works in finance and is on some non-profits and has like global income. So she apparently covers more of the expenses, which includes all of our hobbies, etc. She doesn't want to come home right now. She discussed with her work to go on a business trip for 2 weeks, or if that doesn't pan out, she'll go to her home country, just to give everyone some space, etc. Dad said it scared him, too much distance for too long, and he offered to pay for an Airbnb close by, but she said we all need space to recalibrate, and that he should focus on us without worrying about bumping into her at the grocery store. Dad and Amy are in low contact, but are talking, which he said is good, and a good thing to take some time and space. And I could tell this was a bit bullshit because he looked broken when saying that. I think he thinks it's over, and he's losing hope and is scared she will realize she doesn't have to live with how we've been treating her, like you all said. He said she isn't someone that takes disrespect lightly, which I told him she is the absolute queen of dealing with disrespect given how she's been so patient and kind and careful with us. And he seemed to agree, but I think there's something else going on there, but he wouldn't say. Anyway, she will travel for a bit. She did tell him to tell us she loves us and she's sorry she's leaving like this. She isn't checking messages at this time, and they will meet on the 26th to discuss. They had a romantic weekend planned for the long weekend, and we would stay at our grandparents', and Amy moved the reservation to Dad, so we are taking Friday off, and the core four will go to a cabin and just chill a bit away from the house. Lisa's sleeping today and tomorrow at her best friend's house, her suggestion, and I am also sleeping tomorrow at my cousin's, and we leave Friday morning and back Monday night. That's all that's happened for now. I didn't know what to expect at this time. I'm just happy that Lisa will be doing individual therapy and that we're at least talking to each other a bit. Top comments. Commenter 1. Seems to me that although your sister dealt with the worst of it, you and your brother haven't been angels towards Amy either. Reflection on your behaviors is a step in the right direction, and I think a sincere apology for your own actions is in order too. Just because you see Amy as a safe person to let loose your emotions on, doesn't make it right for you to use her as your emotional punching bag. Commenter 2. Whether or not Amy decides to leave for good, maybe this event will be the catalyst/learning experience you need to look at yourselves and grow emotionally. Better to start learning about emotional intelligence now than later in life and after more potential heartbreak. As lame as it sounds, learning how to manage emotions so you don't yell and where you can instead effectively communicate without being demanding/condescending is part of maturity. It's an invaluable skill. Good luck to you and your siblings. I'm rooting for a positive update. Commenter 3. So you guys were being absolutely terrible to a woman who subsidized your life by paying more rent and for your extracurriculars? Honestly, I'm on her team at this point. Your dad didn't work on any of you and your behavior. There seems to have been no consequences prior to this for all your nastiness. I'm glad she's left. I had to remind myself that these were teenagers with the constant use of unique and bespoke acronyms and sayings like Core4 and Saba. Also, is it really a sneak attack by Amy if you guys swung first by telling her to fuck off or fuck you or whatever you were telling your stepmother? Like, she was actively trying to be a part of your guys' lives in more ways than one, and she was actively trying to be the left hand to your father, while your deceased and departed mother was the right hand. Not replacing, just complementing. This is an example of someone who has tried doing everything they possibly could for you guys and hit a breaking point. And the fact that your father told you she's not really one that takes disrespect well, and your response was, no, actually she does take it really well. Look at all these examples. Just because she takes it well on the surface doesn't mean internally she's not really struggling. Y'all are 16 and 17, and apparently just now learning that your words have consequences, that, saying sorry definitely might put a band-aid on the solution, but band-aids don't really solve the infection, they don't clean the wound, they don't do anything to actually address the problem at hand. You can't just hit someone in the shins with an aluminum bat, say you're sorry, and then do it again a week later and expect nothing to change. You can only be hit in the shins so many fucking times before you throw your hands up and go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out. I'm done. I'm tired of getting hit in the goddamn shins. I paid for that bat, by the way. And you leave. I don't blame Amy in the slightest. At this point, it's out of your guys' hands. If she does decide to come back, y'all better get ready to grovel because she deserves it. You guys decided to meet Amy's kindness with cruelty and rudeness and seeing it as, well, she doesn't get mad at me, so it's fine if I continue doing this. I'm honestly pretty shocked that there were no repercussions from your father that you guys got away with saying fuck you to Amy, and it literally took her snapping back at you guys for you to finally realize, maybe we shouldn't do that. But after all, you guys are teenagers and still learning, those parts of your brain are still growing. It's a shame that this is how you guys had to learn it, but at the same time, sometimes lessons come at a cost. And hopefully as you guys grow and age and learn and develop, that you will look back on this as a learning moment and have it help your emotional maturity grow rather than hinder it further. Therapy is honestly probably a good idea for everyone in this story. Lisa, Sebastian, and you. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed in you. Hey, guess what? It's here. That's right, the Gamer Subs Cup is actually here. It's me, Oz, but as an owl girl. I also really like owls, so I thought this would be a cool combination. If we sell enough of these, it brings me to the next step of getting my own flavor, which would be super cool. There's also a shirt that's being dropped with this, and their shirts are actually super goddamn cozy and comfy. I'm actually wearing one right now while recording. Linky in the description, and probably a pinned comment. This post was collected by Lucy Aria Rose, and their tagline is, I'm keeping the garlic. The original OP is Sorry Particular 169, posted in r/relationship advice, January 24th, 2026. My boyfriend, 23, doesn't want me, 21 female, to go to my best friend's, female 22, wedding. Okay, I don't know what to do because I'm really torn and I understand where my boyfriend is coming from. My boyfriend, Jake, and I have been together for 2 years. We met during orientation for university. Everything is great between us. He's met my best friend, Ella, who's getting married to her boyfriend of 4 years. They're high school sweethearts, and I love both of them. We were all friends during high school and grew up together. They were always together and perfect for each other. I only dated one other person during high school, and his name was Sam. I really liked Sam. We dated for 3 years during school and spoke often about going to uni together and getting married. But it was young love, and when acceptance letters came around, he ended up moving out of state, so we broke up. My best friend asked me to be her maid of honor, and I'm excited. We've been wedding planning for the past couple of months while our fiancé was finalizing his groomsmen. I was surprised when she told me Sam would be the best man. I told my boyfriend about this, and he wasn't happy with the idea of me attending the wedding, as Ella expected each of the bridesmaids and groomsmen to be paired up for activities such as walking down the aisle and the first dance as well as photos. He didn't like the idea of me doing all those romantic things with an ex-boyfriend. I explained to him that Sam and I haven't even seen each other for 3 years, but he said he still felt uncomfortable with it. Jake is invited to the wedding, so I tried to say that I would still spend most of my time with him, but he said he still doesn't want to watch me walk down the aisle and have a first dance with someone else. Plus, he didn't want to have to be reminded of this every time we go over to Ella and her fiancé's house, as all the official wedding pictures would be plastered all over the place. Does anyone have any advice on what to do? I love my boyfriend and I understand where he's coming from, but I want to go to my best friend's wedding. Edit on the same post, January 25th, 2026. Edit. I just want to clarify a few things that I've seen people talk about in the comments. Thank you for everyone's advice. I really appreciate it all. First of all, it wasn't a big surprise that Sam was chosen to be Ella's fiancé's best man. I'll also call Ella's fiancé Luke for clarity. Luke and Sam have remained in contact over the years and are still super close, but I don't ask him about Sam too much just because I'm not super interested in what's going on in his life. The most I ask about is he good? And that's about it. Secondly, I didn't make this super clear in my post, but when I say Ella and Luke will have pictures of Sam and I plastered all over their house, I meant that there would be pictures of the wedding party all together around the place. As for Jake, a lot of people are saying he's being controlling. I don't think he is. I'm not his first girlfriend, he's only my second other than Sam, and he doesn't like the idea of the photos of the wedding party being around, because in the photos, it would have the whole wedding party together and he wouldn't be in the photos, which to him makes it seem like I wasn't there. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow about this all and see what he says. I'll give you an update soon. Some of OP's comments. Striking Scratch 856 comments. In Australia, it is expected that bridesmaids and corresponding groomsmen dance together. The bride and groom are only alone on the dance floor for the first song, then the parents and bride, groom do father, daughter, mother, groom, and add in bridesmaid and groomsmen halfway through. OP responds, "Yeah, I'm from Australia as well. The dance is a coordinated one as well, which means all the bridesmaids and groomsmen will have to practice together, which I'm not excited for because I'm terrible at dancing." Crying emoji. User Riversong47 comments, "If he's going to be jealous of something so dumb and cause you to miss your best friend's wedding, he's not mature enough for a serious relationship. I've been in several weddings and nothing about walking down the aisle or even dancing with a groomsman is romantic. You'll be so busy with other bridesmaids' duties that those will barely be a blip. But the fact that he thinks he can control you like this is concerning." OP responds, "I tried to explain this to him originally and say that I would just be doing a job by walking down the aisle and dancing with Sam, but he said weddings are a naturally romantic scene. I feel like he thinks us dancing together is going to be like Damon and Elena at the Mystic Falls thing." I've got no idea what that's a reference to. OP clarifies her edit. "I feel like this is what Jake thinks happened, but to answer your questions, I did expect Sam to at least be invited. The groom and him have been friends 10 plus years and remained close once Sam moved away. I didn't expect him to be the best man though, because Luke, groom, has brothers he's really close with. They're going to be groomsmen still though. I always knew I would be the maid of honor for Ella. Like, that was not at all a surprise. She's very type A and has a clear vision of what her wedding will be like. She's not a bridezilla. I love this about her. So, the coordinated dancing and photos together was not a surprise either. And Jake would be fine with me doing this with any other guy, it's just that it's specifically an ex. I'm gonna talk to Jake tomorrow about it all, and probably ask Ella as well to see what she thinks. I don't think she was trying to matchmake Sam and I. She's never spoken about us after the breakup or anything like that. I'll update after I've had a chat with everyone. Update post, February 11th, 2026, 18 days from the original post. Okay, so I wanted to give you all an update since people were asking. I'm not sure if this is the right way to do this, I've never made an update before. First of all, I read everyone's comments and wanted to say thank you. Even if I didn't respond, a lot of you gave me great advice, excluding the usual Reddit break up advice, LMAO. I talked to my boyfriend, 23, about it after I made the post and read some of the comments. I took your advice as well and made sure to explain that there was nothing romantic about walking down the aisle with a guy I haven't spoken to in years and having a dance with him. I also told him I'm going to the wedding and I'm going to be Ella's maid of honor no matter what. We had a bit of an argument about it, and he wasn't super excited, but ended up saying he would come to the wedding because he would rather at least be there to celebrate Ella and Luke, Ella's fiancé. And also, he didn't like the thought of me having fun without him and him being all alone. He has a bit of anxiety about that and doesn't like being left out of things, so I understand why he didn't want to just stay home. That conversation was 2 weeks ago, and since then, things went downhill. After the conversation, he was initially really sweet, his usual caring self. Then, he became overly sweet. It kind of felt fine in the beginning, but when he started making comments and jokes about how he wanted me to remember how amazing he was as a boyfriend, it started to feel weird. It kind of felt like he was guilting me. After reading the comments, I started to notice more things too. He always asked questions about where I was going and who I was seeing, which isn't new, but I started to see it differently now. Then he started asking more questions whenever I was on my phone, asking who I was texting and what I was saying. Then he started reading the messages over my shoulder. This wasn't that big of a deal before since he has my password and I have his, and I don't care if he reads my texts since there isn't anything to hide. Now, it kind of feels like he's monitoring me. After that, the worst of it came. Whenever I was going out, he asked me to update him. Not in a normal way, as in, if I was in the shopping center, he would ask me which stores I was going to, what I was eating. He asked me for photos of the food I was having. I thought it was because he wanted to be involved, but I was dumb. I'm kind of ashamed to say that I did send him all of the photos and all of the proof he needed for a couple of days, but then I got sick of it. I asked him, why does he need all of that information? And he told me, just because I want to make sure. I asked, make sure of what? He didn't really give me an answer. Then the final straw was about 2 days ago. Another argument, this time about Ella. He said Ella was trying to manipulate me into getting back with Sam, that she always had a vendetta against him. I said he was being stupid because if that were true, she wouldn't invite him to the damn wedding. He said he didn't feel comfortable with me going. He said he didn't want me to go. And if I did, I was crossing his boundaries and that I wouldn't be his girlfriend anymore because what kind of girlfriend would purposely cross their boyfriend's boundaries? So I told him that's okay. I wouldn't want to cross his boundaries and broke up with him. You were all right. He was controlling me. I don't feel happy about it. I feel sad. I feel like I wasted years of my life on someone I loved. I told Ella. She didn't celebrate. She was sad for me too. Said he was nice, but I could do better, and I should be with someone who helps me grow my world, not shrink it to being just them. I'm going to focus on looking forward to the wedding and helping Ella out. Thank you to everyone again. Edit, I know, mentioning the Reddit advice of breakup being bad and what I ended up doing was a bit ironic. I just meant a lot of people immediately went to breaking up with him. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have if the post ended with him just being a bit grumpy and then moving on. It was the behavior that followed that made that decision for me. It's one thing to be a bit off about something and then need a discussion. Another thing to then be weaponizing boundaries and monitoring my every move. That is what made me break up with him. Again, I am so grateful for the support and advice everyone has given me. It's really amazing. And rest assured, I will now be a full supporter of the breakup team. Oh, don't do that. Just because Reddit is sometimes right doesn't mean they're always right. But this one actually has some incredibly good messaging in it when it comes to boundaries, and I felt like this was important to include, because while it is important to establish boundaries in a relationship, this is a great example of toxic boundaries and when you need to realize, okay, I don't want to break your boundaries, but these boundaries are bullshit, so either we need to break up so I don't cross your boundaries, or you gotta reevaluate them. And that's the thing, is if your partner establishes boundaries that you actually just cannot follow or do not want to follow, then don't be in that relationship, regardless of if the boundary is weaponized or not. Because sometimes boundaries will be established for the good of one partner that is detrimental to the other. And if they are fundamentally incompatible, then that relationship probably just can't work. Then there are boundaries like this one here. It's my boundary that you don't go to your best friend's wedding of the maid of honor. Okay, well, I don't want to break your boundaries, so I guess we're no longer together. He let his paranoia get to him and established false boundaries as an attempt to try and control his partner. It's one thing to be a little cautious and a little bit uncomfortable of like, hey, like, can we talk about the fact that I'm a little uncomfortable with you having a dance with a previous ex of yours and walking down the aisle with them at a wedding? Is this something we can talk about? That is a perfectly reasonable and fine conversation to have. I think it's good to talk about your insecurities within a relationship and try to work through them as a team. However, those insecurities should not be weaponized. That's not good. That's very unhealthy. It's bad. Also, before we get to the outro, I have not updated it yet because I've been dealing with a lot of sleep problems, and it kind of puts me in these positions where I wake up at like 2 or 3 a.m., then have to rush to get the video done, and don't have time to make the outro, and then I try to sleep, and then Look, long story short, I've been having some serious sleep problems, and it's been leaving me in a very fucked headspace. So I'm hoping that at least sometime soon I'll be able to function as a human and get the main channel video done that's like 95% finished, it just needs to be assembled, and then actually kind of get back to functioning as a person again. So yeah, don't forget about the Gamer Subs Cup drop and use code ODDS at checkout for free 10% off. Yeah, isn't that cool? You get 10% off, and by using the code, it supports me further. So, do that. Be super cool. As of recording the outro, we've actually almost sold 1,000, which is fucking crazy. If we sell 5,000, I'll cut my hair just like the owl girl in the cup. So yeah, if we could sell a ton, I'll get my hair done like that. Wouldn't that be fun? Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSups. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Pear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm going to choose some degenerate shit that's going to make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.